Today I want to talk to you about the downfall of KFC. Now you may have seen other YouTube videos talking about the downfall of KFC, and they usually talk about things like how the food quality has gone downhill over the years, which may be a part of it, and they'll also talk about how the actual locations themselves have become dirty and nobody would ever want to bring their family to eat there. But what if I told you that these things were only a part of the problem and that something else had caused these things to happen over time? Now maybe you're thinking, well, what are these things? What happened that we don't know about? Well, today we're going to find out in what really happened to KFC. Now, to find out the truth about how this restaurant went from being a household favorite in the 90s to the disgusting grease trap that it's known as today, we need to go back a couple of years and look at the website Kentucky Fried Cruelty. Now, this site famously made a video starring Pamela Anderson for some reason, exposing the cruel treatment of the chickens being used at KFC, which included chemical additives that made the chickens extra big and oftentimes even grow extra limbs. Now, just to warn you in case you want to go watch this video, it's pretty disturbing. But if you look further on the website, you'll see that tons of big name celebrities, such as Andy Dick, all back this website and this anti-KFC movement. But then I realized something. Ryan Gosling's at the top of this list. Oh my God. A gosling is another name for a baby goose. But a baby goose is a lot bigger than a chicken, unless it's a chicken that's had chemicals used to make it extra big. At the same time, Ryan Gosling was in the movie The Notebook. Well, what exactly is in this notebook they talk about? Well, I found a copy of it online, and it appears to have the Colonel's 11 secret herbs and spices. Now, this recipe was accidentally leaked a few years ago by Colonel Sanders' nephew, who received a notebook from his sister when she passed in 1996. Well, also in 1996, KFC discontinued making their cornbread muffins. And I thought, what are they trying to hide here? So I looked up KFC and cornbread, and I come across the Cornbread Mafia, which is a real group of people who are responsible for the biggest drug operation in United States history. Now, this Cornbread Mafia, which just happened to be in Kentucky where KFC started, was led by this guy Johnny Boone, who pled guilty to all of his crimes in 2017. Well, what else happened with KFC in 2017? Well, for some reason, Shawn Michaels, the wrestler, came out into the ring dressed as Colonel Sanders with his whole KFC background. So I thought, okay, well, why is KFC now connected to wrestling? Well, then I come across this guy, Crash Holly, who was a wrestler in the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, in the same year that KFC started this weird advertising campaign saying that eating fried chicken was a part of a healthy diet, was the same year that Crash Holly died. So the question is, what did he know that KFC didn't want leaked out? Now, if you look at the exact date that Crash Holly died, and you take these numbers, 11, 6, and 3. Well, what number are these letters in the alphabet? K, F, and C. And so, in conclusion, it is clear that KFC was taken over by the Cornbread Mafia. They started using all of their funds to produce drugs instead of taking care of their chicken restaurants. And all I can hope is now that the Cornbread Mafia is out of the way, KFC's quality will start to improve. They can start putting their money back into their chicken, but I guess only time will tell. On a side note, I decided to give my Patreon supporters a bucket of KFC to reward them for good behavior. And at the bottom of the bucket, there was a new Patreon supporter, Nuwo, who's a little bit translucent because of all the chicken grease, but I'm glad he decided to join us down here. If you would like to also join the other supporters in the basement, there's a link to my Patreon down below in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.